Hunter S. Thompson quotes: "Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, 'Wow! What a ride!' A man who procrastinates in his choosing will inevitably have his choice made for him by circumstance. I hate to advocate drugs, alcohol, violence, or insanity to anyone, but they've always worked for me." So we shall let the reader answer this question for himself: who is the happier man, he who has braved the storm of life and lived, or he who has stayed securely on shore and merely existed? Sex without love is as hollow and ridiculous as love without sex. Life has become immeasurably better since I have been forced to stop taking it seriously. No sympathy for the devil, keep that in mind. Buy the ticket, take the ride, and if it occasionally gets a little heavier than what you had in mind, well, maybe chalk it up to forced consciousness expansion, tune in, freak out, get beaten. The edge. There is no honest way to explain it, because the only people who really know where it is are the ones who have gone over. Music has always been a matter of energy to me, a question of fuel. Sentimental people call it inspiration, but what they really mean is fuel. I have always needed fuel. I am a serious consumer. On some nights I still believe that a car with the gas needle on empty can run about 50 more miles if you have the right music very loud on the radio. Let us toast to animal pleasures, to escapism, to rain on the roof and instant coffee, to unemployment insurance and library cards, to absinthe and good-hearted landlords, to music and warm bodies and contraceptives, and to the good life, whatever it is and wherever it happens to be. If you're going to be crazy, you have to get paid for it, or else you're going to be locked up. Some may never live, but the crazy never die. Too weird to live, too rare to die. In a closed society where everybody's guilty, the only crime is getting caught. In a world of thieves, the only final sin is stupidity. When the going gets weird, the weird turn professional. It never got weird enough for me. I have a theory that the truth is never told during the 9 to 5 hours. We cannot expect people to have respect for law and order until we teach respect to those we have entrusted to enforce those laws. I was not proud of what I had learned, but I never doubted that it was worth knowing. Good people drink good beer. All my life, my heart has sought a thing I cannot name. Remembered line from a long-forgotten poem. We can't stop here, this is bad country. Freedom is something that dies unless it's used. Maybe it meant something. Maybe not, in the long run, but no explanation, no mix of words or music or memories can touch that sense of knowing that you were there and alive in that corner of time and the world. Whatever it meant. No more games. No more bombs. No more walking. No more fun. No more swimming. 67, that is 17 years past 50. 17 more than I needed or wanted. Boring. I am always bitchy. No fun for anybody. 67, you are getting greedy. Act your old age. Relax, this won't hurt. Yesterday's weirdness is tomorrow's reason why. Every now and then when your life gets complicated and the weasels start closing in, the only cure is to load up on heinous chemicals and then drive like a bastard from Hollywood to Las Vegas, with the music at top volume and at least a pint of ether. It was obvious that he was a man who marched through life to the rhythms of some drum I would never hear. America, just a nation of 200 million used car salesmen with all the money we need to buy guns and no qualms about killing anybody else in the world who tries to make us uncomfortable. Walk tall, kick ass, learn to speak Arabic, love music, and never forget you come from a long line of truth seekers, lovers and warriors. Weird behavior is natural in smart children, like curiosity is to a kitten. You better take care of me, Lord, if you don't you're gonna have me on your hands. For every moment of triumph, for every instance of beauty, many souls must be trampled. There he goes. One of God's own prototypes. A high-powered mutant of some kind never even considered for mass production. Too weird to live, and too rare to die. The greatest mania of all is passion, and I am a natural slave to passion. The balance between my brain and my soul and my body is as wild and delicate as the skin of a Ming vase. I feel the same way about disco as I do about herpes. As things stand now, I am going to be a writer. I'm not sure that I'm going to be a good one or even a self-supporting one, but until the dark thumb of fate presses me to the dust and says you are nothing, I will be a writer. Buy the ticket, take the ride. It was one of those fine little love stories that can make you smile in your sleep at night. Anything worth doing, is worth doing right. With the truth so dull and depressing, the only working alternative is wild bursts of madness and filigree. I have no taste for either poverty or honest labor, so writing is the only recourse left for me.